Hello everyone, I am Dr. Anshuraj Purohit. We often use question tags when we expect the listener to agree to our statement. And whenever the statement is positive, we use negative question tag. And whenever the statement is negative, we usually use positive question tag. If we are sure or almost sure that the listener will confirm that our statement is correct, we say the question tag with a falling intonation. So, what is falling intonation and what is rising intonation? We will discuss each and everything in detail today in our session. If we are a bit less sure, we say the question tag with a rising intonation. Question tags turn a statement into a question, and they are often used for checking information that we are thinking we know is true or not. Question tags are made using an auxiliary verb, for example, be or have, and a subject pronoun, for example, I, you, she, etc. Negative question tags are usually contracted. It's warm today, for example, isn't it? Usually, if the main clause is positive, the question tag is negative, and if the main clause is negative, it's positive. For example, it's cold, isn't it? And it's not cold, is it? If the main clause has an auxiliary verb in it, you use the same verb in the question tag. There is nothing so special about it. If there is no auxiliary verb in the present simple and even the past simple, in that case you use do, does and did. So we will be talking in detail about the question tags today. There is one weird exception also that I may talk right now, and later on we may discuss many more. The question tag after I am is aren't I. For example, I am in charge of the food, aren't I? This is the correct version. So let's move to the detailing of the question tags, its uses, its benefits, and the intricacies how we can use question tags perfectly in certain situation. What is the best use of question tags in our day-to-day life situations? We may be discussing each and every detail in our session. If we talk about question tag, it is a special contraction in English and we usually use it to confirm the information that we may have received from the speaker. We use question tags to ask for confirmation and they mean something like is that right or is that wrong or do you agree, or they are very common in this language and we use it usually just to confirm whether the person who is asking the question he, wish, he wishes to confirm whether the other person is agreeing or disagreeing. Now, question tags are short questions at the end of the statement if we define it in this way. We can see that they are mainly used in special in the speech when we want to confirm that something is true or not, and in the another case to encourage a reply, even we use question tags. Question tags are short questions at the end of the statement and they are mainly used in speech when we want or wish to confirm certain information. Now, question tags are formed with auxiliary verbs, or even we can say modal verb from the statement and the appropriate. So first of all, we'll talk about negative question tags. They are formed and they are followed after positive statement. We can see one example. Jack is from Spain, isn't he? Mary can speak English, can she? Now here you can see in the positive statement, it is followed by a negative question tag. You, subject, are a student, and after that we are using the auxiliary verb along with negative, and after that the pronoun you. So a subject pronoun comes after an auxiliary or a form of the verb, that is be, and then in this way we make a positive or a positive statement which is followed by a negative question tag. Now in this, after that we'll know about a negative statement plus positive question tag. You'll see Mary isn't a teacher, is she? So a subject pronoun is used to replace the noun or noun phrase. In the negative statement, we may see that a positive question tag is followed. And they aren't funny. Are they funny? He should not say things like that. Now, because here should not has come, we have used should here, and after that the pronoun he. So in different tenses, we may see little variations in the question text. When the verb in the main sentence is in the present simple, we form the question tag with do and does. So you may see the example, it will be much clear for you all. You play the guitar, don't you? So when there is nothing, and here you may see there is no be form of verb, still we may see that it is plural noun, so we will use here do not. And Ellison likes tennis, doesn't she? Because here it is a singular noun. So if the verb in the past simple, we used it. They went to the cinema, did they? Because here it is the second form of the verb that we are using here. And that's why we will use did here. Here it is the base form of the verb. So that's why we have used word does. She studied in New Zealand, didn't she? When the statement contains a word with a negative meaning, the question tag needs to be positive. Now, there are various other examples where you may not find the clear form of negative meaning, such as he hardly ever speaks. So you may see there is no, not is not used here. Still, it is a negative statement. Does he, that's why it is followed after by does, not does not. So hardly ever, rarely. So if these types of adverbs you may see in any sentence, then they always give the negative meaning. So they are followed by the positive question tags. Now you may see some more examples so that it may be clear for you all that positive statements with negative question tags. Suppose if the sentence is simple present tense, then you see that she is Italian, isn't she? If the present simple and the be form of the verb, present simple and the other verb such as do and does, we had already discussed about it. But still, if there is only the be form of verb such as she is Italian, so you'll see here there is no do does after that. If is used, you'll use is only, and after that a negative, not, and then again the pronoun. Even you can see in the positive statement, you are late, you'll frame are, not, and you, aren't you. This is the frame. Now you can see some more tenses such as continuous tense. In this tense, we are working tomorrow. Then are not we. If we use it in this tense, then we will take the auxiliary verb and after that pronoun. Present perfect, we have been to Japan. Haven't we? Haven't they? Or if it is we will use we. Present perfect continuous. She has been studying a lot recently. Has not she? So this is the sequence that you may see. So again we may see some question text in different tenses. Past simple be form of the verb. If we say it was cold yesterday, wasn't it? Past simple in the other verbs. He went to the party last night. When we are talking about simple past tense, then we will use did not he. Past continuous, we were waiting at the station, weren't we? Were not we? Or past perfect, we had forgotten, or he had forgotten his wallet, had not he? Past perfect continuous, we had been working, and we will take the had from here, and you may see we had is contracted here. So we may also discuss in some other session about these contractions also in detail. We had not been working, had not been. If we talk about future simple tense, she will come at 6, then we will say won't she. Will not, there is a contraction for it is won't. Future continuous, they will be arriving soon. Won't they? Even in the future continuous, we'll use won't they. Won't means will not. Future perfect, again won't they, you may see. How are we framing future perfect? They will have finished before 9. They will have finished before 9. And even then, we are using won't they. Now in future perfect continuous, she shall have been cooking all day. Won't she? So again, in the future tense, you may see the only question tag we have used is won't, and after that the pronoun that is currently existing in that particular sentence. Now, if we are using models, he can help, then again we will use the same model and after that not and he, can he. We will contract it in case we are using it as a question tag. Again the model, John must stay, John must not. Or we will use John must stay, so must not he. In place of noun, we are using here pronoun. Now in the negative sentences with positive question text, let's see what we can do. What are the variations that are being expected from us? Look at these examples with negative statements. Notice that the negative verb in the original statement is changed to positive in the negative in the tag. So this is these are the specifications that we need to see. Once if we are aware of all the tenses, accordingly we can make changes in the question text. Present simple be, we are not late, are we? So if there is negative frame here, we will use the positive here. In the present simple other verb, she doesn't have any children. Then we will say, does she? Present continuous, the bus is not coming, is it? So in place of writing bus, we have used it. That means we have used pronoun. So she has not eaten all the cake, has she? He has not been running in this weather, has he? In case we are using it in the present perfect continuous tense. Now the tense in the past simple be form, if we are having negative statement, how will we frame the question tag? She was not at home yesterday. Then the same was we have taken from here, and we will frame a question tag was, and after that we'll put the she that is already available in this sentence in the form of pronoun. Now in the past simple tense, they did not go out last Sunday. So we will take the did from here only, we'll remove the not and we'll add the pronoun that is already available in the sentence. You can see the minute description that we can see here, and we may make out what are the changes, and we can practice, because we may be aware still if we don't practice it, and if we don't see it minutely, we may are bound to errors certain. We may commit certain errors if we are not practicing it minutely. So because of that, I have prepared a separate slide for each tense so that we may see the differentiation in it. We had not been to London before had we. This way we use it in past perfect tense and in past perfect continuous tense. You had not been sleeping, had you. So this is the formation that we have used in both the tenses, and you may see the clear differentiation in other past tenses that we have made. Now if we talk about future simple tense, they won't be late, will they? If you see, there is a contraction that is won't, that is the contraction of will not, and once if we remove not, it will stay, the only will be left. So they won't be late, will they? Future continuous, he won't be studying tonight. He won't be studying tonight, will he? And in the future perfect tense, if we see that she won't have left work before 6, will she? This will be the framing. So you'll see in the future tense, not much variations we have seen. We are using the auxiliary verb will, and later on the pronoun which is used in this sentence. If we talk about future perfect continuous tense, he won't have been traveling all day. We will say, will he? This is the question tag that we will add after future perfect continuous tense. If we talk about models, she can't speak Arabic. Then we will remove not from the auxiliary and we'll place it here, and it will be can, and after that the pronoun that is already available in the sentence, she. They must not come early. So we will remove not from the model and we'll place it here after the comma, and we'll write they must, then after that don't forget to put question mark because it is a question tag. Now there are certain special cases as well where we need to variate at some places, and some variations are required, and how we can identify them, we will see that the adverb never, rarely, seldom, hardly, barely, and scarcely. So you can learn these words as well if by any chance you cannot identify, but still these are only the words that we have to see. If we see these words, they have a negative sense if they are available, if they are present in any sentence, then they will give us the negative meaning, even though they may be in a positive statement. The feeling of the statement is always negative, and we treat the statement with these words like negative statement. So the question tag automatically will come as positive tag, because in the statement, although the word not is not available, still these words, these negative adverbs, if they are used, then they always give the sense of negativity, and later the positive question tag will appear after them. He never came again, did he? She can rarely come these days, can she? You hardly even, you hardly ever come late. Did you? I barely know you. If I say you hardly ever came late, it will be did you. If you hardly ever come late, then do you. I barely know you. Do I? You would scarcely expect her to know that. Then, in case of model, we will use the same model, would you. And after that, the pronoun. Even we need to see intonations in the question text carefully. Intonation is important in question text because they can change the meaning of the tag question with the musical pitch of our voice. With rising intonation, some sounds that are created. If our intonation falls, it sounds more like a statement that doesn't require a real answer. So intonation is really necessary and we need to see to it. You do not know where my wallet is, do you? If it is in the rising, then it is a real question. It is a beautiful view, isn't it? Falling, then not real question. That means in some cases, you may find that a question is asked, and in some cases, you may find it's not a real question that is asked. So there can be two kinds of intonation that we have seen, rising and falling. So we have met before, haven't we? We have met before, haven't we? So if the tag has a rising intonation, it means I am not sure. Please confirm that what I said is true or not. And if there is a falling intonation, it means I know that what I said is true. So please agree with me. So these are the two reasons for which we do use intonation in question text. After that, use of imperatives. You are well aware, imperatives are the sentences which give orders and even some signs when we make, and if we invite, if we give instruction, if we give order, if we give warning, and even if we give advice. In that case, we are framing imperative sentences. And we use question tags with the imperative, invitations and orders, but the sentences remain an imperative and doesn't require a direct answer. Use won't for invitations. Use can and can't, will, would for orders. So you just see these are some specifications in some special cases. So if the imperative plus question tag and the notes polite invitation if we have. We will see one example also so that it is clear whatever the rules we have discussed. Take a seat, won't you? So if take a seat This is an invitation, and it is a quite friendly invitation or a polite invitation, you can say. So in that case, if the positive imperative, later on you may see won't, we are using it, or we are placing won't after it, and we are framing a question tag. Next example is help me. It is a quite friendly request of helping. Help me, can you? So if this is the case, you can frame like this, and even you can frame like this as well, that help me, can you? But it is quite friendly, and in this case you may see a different fallen intonation. Close the door, would you? Quite polite. If you are not that much polite, then what will you say? Do it now, will you? That means you're not that much polite. If you are more polite, you'll say would you. Don't forget, will you? Only will is possible with the negative imperatives. You need to see these specifications carefully. Same way question text such as, look at these. So you are having a baby, are you? That is wonderful. And in some chance, if you wish to say that she wants to marry him, does she wants to marry him? So you think that is funny, do you? Think again. So these are some different ways of saying question text. They are little different, but when you ask for information or help, in this case, you could say that you would not know where the police station is, would you? Here you can see some more example which will elaborate the point of view which I have discussed here. You don't know of any good jobs, do you? So you could not help me with my homework, could you? You have not got $10 to lend me, have you? So here also you may see we are asking questions, and the tag questions to ask for information or help, they start with a negative statement. This is quite a friendly, polite way to making a request. For example, instead of saying where is the police station, it is not very more polite. So you can say, do you know where the police station is? Slightly more polite. And even we could say that you won't know where the police station is, would you? That means first we have framed a negative statement, and after that a question tag. So the more polite way of asking any question. More special cases can be discussed here. I am right, aren't I? Aren't I? Not am not I. So you have to go, don't you? Then in this case, you'll say you have to go. You have to go, don't you? So you have seen that you have used as simple present tense. I have been answering, have not I. Nothing came in the post, did I? I have not been answering. Like negative statements we have made. Let's go, shall we? And he had better do. Then we have written here, had not he. So these are some special cases, and some more mixed up examples of question text can be observed for the sake of intensive practice. But you do not really love her, do you? This will work, won't it? Although Here there is a simple future and after that won't. Oh, you think so? Do you? Well, I could not help it. Could I? So, although these are simple, but still a little bit tricky sentences, and these are the mixed examples of question text. We had never have known. We would never have known. If there is had, then we would have used had here. But in this sentence, we would never have known than we. Oh, you do? Do you? The weather is bad, isn't it? So some are really simple, and you may see some are in the original form that we had already discussed. Some more examples also we may read so that it may become more clear for us. You won't be late, will you? It is obvious. Nobody knows. So in this case, there is no pronoun here, but still we have assumed to they. You never come on time, do you? You could not help me, could you? Simple. You think you are clever, do you? So here we are using it in this sense. So you do not think I can do it, don't you? So we are taking the auxiliary from the beginning sentence in this case. Shut up, will you? So these are imperative sentences, and you'll see how we have done these sentences. She can hardly love him after all that, can she? So if there is can, already we have replaced can in the, or we have used the can, or we have supplied can here, and after that the pronoun. If there is nothing will happen, will it? So we have assumed a pronoun out of that sentence, and you may see for these contraction you need to see the other videos, and even you need to know the sentence patterns, the types of sentences that we have discussed in between today, such as imperative and the affirmative and the simple statements that we always make, negative, interrogative, and some more. So in that case, you need to see the videos that are already framed for the types of sentences. So in the upcoming session, we'll be discussing about the types of sentences